No, no one believes this at all. Either you didn't watch the whole video or you misunderstood the context. He's talking about one person. One person with a specific set of images and one person with a specific set of beliefs who's been put in a position of power, and these things don't mix well. Pete Hegseth, I guess is how you say his last name. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the guy, but he is tied to a very select group of Christian nationalists, a group that is a very extremist style of group that believes in bringing biblical law to all sectors of society across the planet. So basically colonize the world into Christianity. This denomination has a specific love for the Crusaders and what their Crusaders done and how their Crusaders operated and how they used force in order to get their message forced across. Now, the point of these Crusaders was to rid Muslims off of the Holy Land, and the Iron Cross that is on his chest is a representation of that. It is the cross that the Crusaders developed during a time where they were waging war against a people group over land, similar to what is happening at this very second. Right? Alright, so there's one image. You can see this same cross in Zimbabwe in 2019. You can see it in the protest where Trump said there were some good people there in Charlotte. You remember that one? Yeah, you can see it amongst the hoods. This cross has been adopted for many years by white supremacist Christian nationalist extremists to promote the dominance of Christianity and this color across the world, along with the Jewish people. Which is why all Middle Easterns have to identify as white in the United States. Also, that thing that happened at the inauguration a couple years back, you can see it there too. He was in the National Guard during the Biden administration, and his own leaders would not let him attend because they considered him a white supremacist. They literally would not let him attend an inauguration for a president because of his extremist beliefs. The United States military made that call about this guy. And then we have Jesus Vault. Probably rednecked it up, who knows. But God wills it. Now, we've all seen it in the movies. The English guys, who are dominating the world, God wills it, as they off tons of people in war. It's all through Braveheart. It's part of that culture, and it is very clearly, even culturally, part of that culture. But the Crusaders are the ones who came up with it, who had a specific agenda. Seeing the ties yet? It has been used as a word for religious dominance since 1096, and it is also in his book, The Closing Line. Along with that tattoo, right beside it, he has a picture of a sword and a verse that said that Jesus did not come to bring peace, but a sword. And so his whole perspective is warrior Jesus coming back to rule with a rod of iron and destroy everybody who stands against him. He opposes a two-state solution and believes that Palestinians should be removed from the land. And need I remind you, before 1945, all of that land was nothing but Palestinians, and the Palestinians agreed to let the Jewish people in for their own safety. And then Zionism started taking more and more land from the Palestinians, which created extreme Palestinians. Extremism begets extremism. And so when you put a guy like this in power, it is going to empower extremism. So patriotism plus Christianity plus your skin color does not identify you in any category whatsoever, except that you are a Christian and you love your country. That's fine. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If you look behind me, you'll see many religious books. I have no issue there. But this man is connected to a group of extremists that believe in one old ideology, in one old way of going about that ideology, and that is to remove all other religions from this world by force and to establish a culture that reflects us and the Hebraic people. And that's why this man is an issue.